Namaste everyone. My name is Ravi Shankar. I'm the National President of Hindu Students Council. We are the largest national organization of young Hindus in America, and we have a presence at about 50 campuses in America. Our goal is to do basic dharma education and to empower young Hindus with a foundational sense of identity, a basic kind of knowledge of their heritage, so that the stigma of identifying as a Hindu is removed. Unfortunately, there is a lot of stigma and there is a lot of shame around the word Hindu, especially in my generation, and that's purely because people don't know what it really means to be Hindu. People are not educated. Our mandirs don't teach, these basic things on how you answer questions or tough questions about Hinduism. Do you guys worship monkeys, cows? What's up with the polytheism? What's up with the caste system? So the kind of environment that a young Hindu is raised in really does not support a deeper sense of connectedness to their heritage and to their culture and of course their spirituality. So that's a brief kind of introduction to what HSC does. But what I want to talk about today is obviously Hindu unity. We're all here for a reason. And I think that if you really look at Hindu unity from kind of a younger generation's perspective, there is a kind of like a facade of unity on the outside, and there's just a complete disarray on the inside. It's really contradictory and hypocritical, at least the way that I see it, how our community is unified. If you actually look at the Western spiritual, New Agey, yoga, vegan community, they're actually much more unified amongst the principles at a deeper spiritual level than we are. And if you go to them, they have this fierce sense of individualism, but it's really about this non-judgmental acceptance of a spiritual way of life that I don't think that we really have. So first, what I think we have to do is we have to find meaning. Why has the yoga industry become this billion-dollar industry? And why are all these kind of ideas such as karma and reincarnation and other buzzwords in the Western population, the non-Desi, non-Hindu population, why are they taking off? Because they actually engage with these concepts at a much deeper level in their daily lives than we do. So they have found meaning in whatever practice, in whatever thought process and philosophy they've engaged in. Have we found meaning? When we go to Bhagavan at the mandir, is it a mere transactional exchange? Or is there a sense of Atma? Is there a deeper sense of Vedanta and Yoga in that process? I am not sure. If there was, I think our community as a whole would be very, very different, because what is internal manifests externally. Our external situation right now is a great reflection of where we are internally, especially spiritually. So we need to find meaning. We need to change our lifestyles after finding meaning. A lot of these Western yogis are vegan. They don't take cow's milk. They don't take any cheese or dahi, because they know how the cows are treated here. They're basic aspects of life that we take for granted, and we don't apply any kind of deeper outlook or Hindu perspective to. Western yogis and Western spiritualists do a wonderful job at that, and they're beating us. So if we don't change our lifestyle to be more conscious, to be more environmentally friendly, to bring this kind of consciousness and awareness to our mandirs, to our infrastructure, I think that we're going to continue in kind of this downward spiral that I see. And just a note on that downward spiral, if you look at Hindu mandirs today, and there are of course exceptions, but I would say that the young population, the younger generation, is not attending Hindu mandirs at the same rate that we would like them to. Now, our Hindu mandirs are picking up a ton of debt by taking out loans to create giant infrastructures and golden this and silver that. Are we really going to be able to pay that off at the rate that we need to in order to stay afloat if our next generation is not donating money in a consistent way? So after we kind of address these issues of meaning and lifestyle, we need to redefine what it means to be Hindu. We've heard talk of reclaiming and using the correct terminologies, but what does dharma really mean? Is dharma religion? Can we call Hinduism religion? Are we pigeonholing our vast tradition using Western definitions and Western paradigms to define us? Because no, we're not polytheist. We're not even monotheist. Monotheism talks specifically about God judging and sin and this very particular process of heaven and hell with just one God. Whereas we are so far beyond that. If you look at our deepest philosophies, our deepest philosophy of non-dualism, Advaita Vedanta, this is so far beyond monotheism. We can try to call it monism, where everything is absolutely one. But even that doesn't encompass the beauty of Advaita. So we need to not only redefine, but we need to empower ourselves to be able to speak assertively, to be able to represent ourselves assertively, to be able to advocate for the needs of Hindus, not just politically, but in the cultural sphere, in different areas of life. And we as a whole community have really not been doing much of that. So I apologize that I've run over. This is a really vast topic, and I wanted to give a lot of attention to these very important things that will deeply impact our kind of transition, this transition of the torch to the next generation, which is one of my most important concerns, but also the health of our community and how actually Western yogis seem to be taking our identity and taking it forward in a more authentic way than we are. And this is kind of worrisome, but I do see a lot of promise. There are a lot of mandirs, especially in the Guyanese community, especially in the SWAMINARAYAN community, where this youth empowerment and this issue of redefinition of identity and carrying forward that identity is a crucial aspect of their function. So I hope that we as a community can actually do more, raise awareness on these issues that are literally right in front of us, and change ourselves internally as well as address the external circumstances that we're facing that are very kind of against us. So I want to thank the organizers. I want to thank Dr. Swami, Arishji, who's been very gracious in letting me speak and bring up these difficult but extremely important issues that I hope that you as Hindu leaders, you as torchbearers of our community, will be able to take up and address in a real way. Thank you. Namaskar.